All right, what's good people in the city? I'm gonna break down this ancient architecture in Augusta, Georgia. Hashtag no Civil War damage. Hashtag floods and fires. So I'm just gonna break down how the Civil War never made it to Augusta. It went all around it. It was all in Atlanta, Burke County, all in Savannah, Milledgeville, Louisville, but it never did make it to Augusta. So everything was pretty much still intact. And North Augusta, matter of fact, right across the bridge in South Carolina. None of this got touched. Now, as I done read, Augusta had a pretty big arsenal of manufacturing gunpowder. So that probably could be part of the reason why ain't nothing get destroyed. General Sherman probably ain't want to come on a suicide mission. He probably knew he wasn't gonna make it out. Who knows though? And we had the railroad system. The way that's set up, if you get hurt on the east side of Augusta, you better pray ain't no train running. Because you're going to have to take a long route to get to the hospital. You might not make it. Well, we're going to check this out. I'm going to break this down real quick. I got this book I've been looking at. Got a couple more like it too. This is one on. It says Augusta and vintage postcards. And what we're going to see is some of the same buildings that's still around, which is amazing. This is downtown Augusta, Broad Street, one of the main streets. And it's right here. Got the old rail car line, old houses. It's right here where the trolley used to run at. And this early 1900s got power lines running. Everything pretty much intact. A lot of these houses is still there. Even though they say some of this stuff got burnt down, but a lot of them houses still there. You see the dirt road, which really ain't dirt. Just look like that. It's 1905 Lower Broad Street. And we got the other end of Broad Street. Pretty nice houses. I mean, Broad Street still look good. Green, Telfair, Reynolds Street, all of it still pretty much intact. They say it burnt down, but for the most part, they might have put it back together. A lot of two-story buildings. Whole lot on them. Then we got right here, more trolley tracks. Got the electric wires across the top of it. See, they got the mud all in the roads. We didn't have street sweepers back then, unless you actually hired somebody to come sweep the streets. Now, this lady standing over here, this is 1906. A lot of people dealt in cotton in the early 1900s. That still was big business. They still got bales of cotton in old warehouses now. If anybody was to pass by and see them. And we got this building right here, northeast corner of Broad Center, which is 5th Street. Is after the 1916 fire. And these postcards, these folks sending these postcards to places. I mean, I wouldn't want to send nobody a postcard or something like that, looking like Germany, looking like World War One didn't happen. But I thought World War happened. I thought it happened around that time too. Let me see how the building look. It do look like something from a whole nother country. I don't think we used to see in America like this. Got little symbols above the door and stuff. It's wild. Got the 3, 4, 5 chimneys in one building. Oh yeah, that's just the beginning of stuff. And say this right here was built in 1818 by old Ferdinand Fennessy. It don't even sound like people we know. And this was a residence. This was a residence and it was a saloon. So buddy had a little bar and he lived there too. That sound like the old timing days. Actually sound like something out of London, how all them people live above their buildings and stuff. You got people standing around. Look like a little person standing right there. Oh yeah. There you go. You got the shop at the bottom, got the houses at the top, got a balcony. A lot of these places still is there. We're gonna go to the next one. I like this picture right here. This is the Confederate Memorial Day Parade on the 600 block of Broad Street on the way to the city cemetery, Magnolia Cemetery, matter of fact. The one they say is the white only cemetery, but I'm going to break that down too. I guess I can do it in this. Well, I might hold it. Because I know it ain't just no so-called white. You seen the other video, you'll know ain't no such thing as no white and black folks. Number mind games. Some money game. But this right here, paved roads. The lady got a tight grip on her arm, like you better not walk away from me. Got little buddy sitting in the drop top. Oh yeah, cars been popping off. Got the rims on that thing. Got the what? Got the 20 spokes on there. Okay. Yeah, you see we got the concrete, well the brick streets, concrete sidewalk. Man, and brick's been around since 7,000 BC. Nah, Broad Street at least about 4 or 5 miles long. So that whole Broad Street full of bricks. And I'm talking about this ain't no, man, you can count in one little area like 100. You're probably looking at about 1 million bricks in the ground. You wonder where all these brick houses come from. Cause now we got asphalt on the ground, so pretty much that's probably where all these fancy little houses coming from. Even though we do got a brick making factory here, the Cherokee brick. Yeah, see all these people of different colors and nationalities paying their respects to the Confederates. Yeah, nice cars in the back, nice buildings that's still around. And you see this big building with the dome on it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that building because that building is still there and very, very mysterious. I know the name of it though. Everybody got on long clothes. I wonder what time of the year this is. If you are not finna wear that from May through September, you is not wearing no long pants. And we got the Lodge, Augusta Lodge, on the corner of 7th. This is in 1908. We got everything set up. And it's a club. Okay then. Little juke joint. People getting it in. I like that. That's a grocery store too, ain't it? Yeah, they selling stuff. They got the price on there. What you want? Come on, man. They don't even make them like this no more. You gonna have to come with at least $250,000 just to get you a house built by that size. And that's just because of inflation. All right, what we got? This on the left side is a drawing. This on the right side is an actual picture. All right, this 700 block of Broad Street. They say the area has experienced dramatic changes caused by fire and progress since 1903 when this photo was made. The Georgia Railroad Bank at 701 Broad Street on the corner of McIntosh, 7th Street. The office building next door at 705. the 707 through 709 building containing the National Bank of Augusta and the Planters Loan and Savings Bank, and the fourth building at 711 through 713 containing retail stores and offices would all soon see changes. It's 1903, yeah, 1908. I kind of find that hard to believe. This is actually a painting for real. You can look at this picture and see somebody painted that. It don't even look like a normal picture somebody had to. Well, it could be real. I don't know. This don't seem too right to me. He's still horse and buggy people in 1903. Dirt road, brick with dirt on it. All these buildings. That building's still hanging there. They put another building next to it, and you don't really notice it. And yes, I believe they moved buildings too. I can share a little insight on that. But you see this building on the right side, supposed to be the same building on the left. 5 years later, you got a whole new building here, switching that one out. This building's still there. Then you got another building done swapped out for this building on the left. And the trees done finally grew. Then you got these rows of buildings that kind of don't look alike. We got the little monument building. And we got that brick street. Now, this on a whole nother end of Broad Street. This on 7th. The other picture was like, what, 3rd and 4th of Broad Street. You can see them bricks in the road. Get a little insight of it. Anyway, let me keep it moving. We got a whole lot of stuff on here. Whole lot of pictures. They say this be that old architecture, but man, look, if you ain't really paying attention, you'll walk right past it. Nah, it's 1916, before the fire. Well, it's a fire every couple years too. And every couple years it'd be a building change. Just like now, 1916, they got a whole 2-story building that don't even look like. Let me go back one. Look at that. Now, there's no building down there. And all of a sudden, boom, put that 2-story, 10-story building right there. Okay. Got the cars flowing. Still got the trolley tracks. Got the planters building. And somebody actually took their time and drew this building. And then built it. Okay. Believe that. It's the Planters Loan and Savings Bank. It's still there. Now this here is pretty tricky. It's the interior of the Planters Loan and Savings Bank. The G.O.W. Mueller Manufacturing Company in Atlanta, Georgia, featured this view on an advertising card sent to the Bank of LeCompte in LeCompte, Louisiana in 1909 of January 1909. Now, this looks like something out of a movie. If this really was something on Broad Street. I'm telling you. They do need to come shoot some more movies down here and take us back to the early 1900s. Now, this right here, the Citizens Savings, Citizens and Southern Bank, right? Now, this does not belong there. That car should not be there. That is a drawing. This looks like a picture. Kinda. People don't really look real. It look like they just placed these folks there, like cardboard cutouts or something. It look like a Star Wars movie. But the building is real, because that building is still there. I mean, it pretty much got everything, even that little cage back there. Oh, yeah. With the United States flag and everything. It's just weird, man. That technology had you got dang on questioning life. Like, where have I been? Nah, this is the commercial club, which is wild. A membership club for the businessmen of Augusta and their visitors. This is 1908. That is nice. Still got the horse and buggy. I don't know. They got cars, then they got horse and buggies. I don't know what's going on. Is they trying to put the cart before the horse, or put the car before the horse? I don't know what they doing, man. It's weird. Yeah, I think they got rid of that building right there, though. I got to go down there and look at it again. It's probably still there. They probably just took most of the trimming off of it and just made it look like a normal building, like everything else next to it. Oh yeah, now this the old Augusta Chronicle building. Oh, this took in 1908. And they said they was in this building since 1892. Now, like I said, the Civil War did not happen in Augusta, so every building you see is the building you see. It's probably been burned or they probably remodeled it. Other than that, nothing get tore up. You got people out here hanging out in front of the newspaper building, out there waiting on the newspaper. You got some people of color, you got some lighter skinned people. I mean, everybody out there. I don't know what they're talking about with that segregation stuff. I mean, it did happen, but whatever. So they say. This the Chamber of Commerce building. You got the horse and buggy sitting out there. You got the horse sitting out there. That look like a donkey or a little pony. That don't even look like a big horse. So could that be like a minivan? Like a little SUV? You ain't a real horse, so you can't say it's like a truck. Okay then. Got the little pony. It's the Western Union after the 1916 fire. So 1916 really did some damage, but fire can't burn brick. Most of the do to it is char it. It'll turn dark. You can rinse it off, clean it. The way that goes. And we got the Union Saving Bank. This guy here on that brick road. Yeah, millions of bricks on the road. And it's only two parts of Augusta that got brick road to this day. And that is down by the Riverwalk and Forest Hills. The rest of the city don't got no bricks. It's all asphalt. Yeah, you see the brother sitting there, got the old nice hat on, riding on the old Nad. Ooh, that nigga on that Nad right there. He getting it. Man, the whole city lit up. Got lights. Got the Augusta Chronicle building. Got a cafe. Got folk back there getting pulled by the horse and stuff. Oh yeah, that's a nice little whip right there. Yeah. And my granddaddy still had one of these cars back in like the late 90s when we went to his house. He stayed right down. Matter of fact, he stayed right off Broad Street. And he was born in the 1930s. So he still had a car. I guess his daddy left him a car probably. He never had a chance to ask him, but it was there. Shout out to my granddaddy Leroy. Got your trolley car, still got the old buildings hanging around there. Let's see, let's go to something else. Now, this is damage done to the Union Savings Bank located at 769 Broad Street after the fire, March 22nd through the 23rd, 1916. I got some more books that actually show some pictures of like when the fire really, really did some damage, because some of these buildings got dynamited. They didn't even like want to try to remodel them. So they just decided to just blow them up. I mean, I guess that's the kind of the safest way, which it really ain't. It ain't a controlled demolition. You just out there blowing up stuff. Yeah, it's the old savings bank. Yeah, you see it. They got pillars and stuff. It's a building right next to a building. Bricks. I'm pretty decent with some brick masonry work. So when I see all this, it's like, man, them a lot of bricks. And it takes time and patience. Now, this the new Union Savings Bank at the same area. And it was built on the old site. That is nice. But that building next to it don't look like the building next to it. These are two separate different buildings, unless they tore down both of the buildings. Yep, that's a trip. Now, this building here, the Empire Life Insurance Company building. They say this construction started in late 1913. Man, I want to go back to that other picture, but I'm not. Because it actually looked like somebody scrubbed it out of the picture and just made it look like a vanilla sky. Now, this 1913. That is a nice building for 1913. And you got cars, plenty of them, and people. Which this is a drawing though. That is not a real picture. That is not a real picture for anybody. This is a real picture. But this is the Marion building. You actually got people down there. Now we ain't got no power lines or nothing up now. Any other time some power lines and everything else. And you still got the horse and buggy guy. Then you got the people with the cars. And you see you got this long alleyway right here. And you got this building here so close to this one. And the trolley car. Y'all is real close. Y'all supposed to be that close to the cars, man. Hell what it is. And it's just a little taste of what it is. Ain't this the Marion building? Yes, it is. And a Confederate monument. More bricks in the street. And we look at this one right here. This is wild. And people still sending their postcards to different folks. You got this lady sent, this person. Her message say, we took an electric car to Augusta yesterday from Aiken, then rolled all around the city. It is a nice city with lovely homes. Our car stopped right beside this monument. Really? Hey, it's something eerie about this monument, though. If you look at it, though. I don't even think they really put that monument up there. I think it probably been there. Either way, they say they did. I ain't gonna argue with them. Now, this right here is the south side of Broad Street, the Leonard Building. That's where all the business take place at. Most of these places, you can rent them out. They got a balcony. You see people hanging around, just chilling, walking back and forth across the street. These ain't really nothing though. Go ahead and get past these. Look at this, the Turkish Rains Hotel. It's Turkish. And you got the Elliott Trunk Company. All this is around 1900s, early 1900s. Now this the trip part. So we got the Miller Walker building on the right. That's this building right here on the corner, Jackson and Broad Street. His main interest was owned Jackson Street. So that's on the side of this building right here. You can kind of see it right there. And the Harrison building was next door. The Avion Hotel is the third building on the left. All of that is the Avion. Now this is weird. It's crazy. This that Avion. If anybody don't know what the Avion is, if you ever walk down Broad Street, you will see a picture on a building that shows all of this right here. It'll actually show this, which is crazy. They got this whole little picture on the building. And then when you look up, you see a whole bunch of air conditioners hanging out the windows. And all of this, the bottom part of this is gone. But the walkway is still there. Yes. I had to Google map that. I was like, wow, okay, I know exactly what that is. That's that building where all them people be at. They be sitting outside and stuff. Now they got like, what them is, a whole bunch of them little poles sticking up out the ground right there. Yeah, it look like you can turn down there, but you can't. People just be sitting outside and stuff. Yeah. So they ain't even really get rid of none of this. All this still there. We just don't notice it. They like boarded it up and stuff. Yeah, it's still right there. Man, I know them folks ain't building none of this stuff, but they keep talking about, oh, we built that in the late 1800s and all that, early 19. Man, please. The whole Augusta, well, the downtown area is a flood zone, and you cannot build in the flood zone. I know that because my granddaddy lived on the other side of the river, right there in Hamburg, and they told him, "Hey, this is a flood zone. You cannot build anything." They let him put a trailer out there. That's about it. They had a nice garden with some animals and stuff though, but they weren't gonna let them build anything. You see the brick road? Millions of bricks, millions upon millions. Still horse and buggy people. Yeah, selling all kind of stuff. And around this time is when all them foreign people was coming, so they needed a good backstory. That's the inside of it. You got people hanging out outside. I swear it don't even look like a picture sometimes though. It look just like somebody drew this. If you just look at it, like somebody drew these. Some on pictures and some on drawings. Unless they had some really good camera tricks back then. But them look like people that they drew. This don't even look like real people. It look good though. Yes, yes. It's just part of it. This ain't even a good bit of the book. This when it snowed. No one hardly get no snow. I bet they ain't shut the city down then. We get some snow right now, but they cancel everything. Hmm. Oh yeah, let go. Next to the Dyer building. I know a lot of Dyers too. Yeah. Who that? Colonel Daniel Burns Dyer, president of the Augusta Railroad Company. Hmm. He came from Kansas to build an electric car line to replace the mule-drawn cars. The car line began operating in June 1890. Okay, sure it did. And the March 22nd, 1916 fire started in the Dyer building. All right, don't sound too right to me. You got these people here sitting out there just chilling, but they ain't got no shoes on. Oh my god. He ain't got none on, but he do. Look like he got on just one. Look, they got the bathhouse. What that is? That say what? Bustier? Hmm. Yeah. That say coastlines. They sitting out there flooded. Oh, it's a flood zone. They didn't even fix the levee They ain't even. Matter of fact, it's still a flood every now and then. But they didn't get the Riverwalk until 1980 something. Oh, Ed McIntyre started that, and they had the levee system. They had the levee up there since like 1920, 30 something, and that didn't even work. So how these folk gonna build anything? You can't unless it's the middle of the summer. And then where you gonna get all these bricks from? Pull them out the ground, I guess. All right, it's Jackson Street and the fireproof Dyer building. It's supposed to be fireproof. Well, it ain't too fireproof. Yeah. The United States Cafe on Broad Street, 1916. Water damage and smoke damage. It's right here, the old Masonic building. It was constructed in 1918 on the site of the Dyer building. Really? The new Majeska Theater was built in 1916 on the site of Richard's Stationery Store and the United States Cafe. G. Lord Preacher was the architect for both buildings. The Masonic building was demolished in 1967 and replaced by the 11-story First National Bank and Trust Company building, which is now the SunTrust Bank building. Okay. A lot of these buildings just got reinforced with steel, too. And some of them they didn't tear down. I mean, you can leave the brick up there. Masonry is very, very tricky. You have to know how to do it. There they go, getting pulled through the water. I just love looking at all them bricks in the road because I'm wondering where they at now. Because the street is asphalt now. Them bricks went somewhere. And these buildings is already built. So where is these bricks? Unless they still under there. But I doubt that. They used them for something. Matter of fact, I got some stuff at the end I can show too. It'll tell you where all these bricks went to. It's the Levi Company, Levi's and Sons, making clothes. This building here flooded out. They had to come through with the technology. Oh yeah, you got a mower. You got the water pump. Oh yeah, with the steel wheels on it. You couldn't afford the rubber tires. You had to use steel wheels. You got the fire engine. Oh yeah, they had it going on. All that technology. And what year that was? 1908. Mm-hmm. This is 1908 flood. People living at the top of the buildings. People just standing around looking lost. I wouldn't stand in that water because it is not good. That's how you get sick. Standing in that nasty water, boy. Man, that water knee high. So that got to be at least what, 2, 3 feet of water. Mm. Crazy. I won't be in it. You got that itching. You crazy. Better than me. All this is downtown Broad Street. Busy morning on Broad Street, 1904. The umbrella advertises red hot bargains, boots, shoes, and hats for the Great Eastern Shoe Company. It's at 915 Broad Street. All these people, they out here getting it in. Horse and buggy show. Them a lot of horses. And a lot of shit in the street too. Goodness. I don't know. I don't know which one worse. Horse shit or carbon monoxide. And I think both are just about the same thing. See these people hanging out, just chilling. Ain't doing much of nothing. What he got in that barrel? Yeah. And you got the fire company. Mayor William M. Dunbar in the driver's seat of Augusta's brand new web automatic fire engine and hose wagon combined. 1909. Chief Frank G. Reynolds is standing beside the machine. That's this guy here with the thick mustache. Just to the left of the mayor. The mayor sitting right there. Hmm. They just bought it. The auto engine was built on a Thomas Flyer chassis, had a 90 horsepower six-cylinder engine with a top speed of 60 miles per hour and a pumping capacity of 900 gallons per minute. It also carried 1,000 feet of 2.5-inch fabric hose, one 20-foot extension ladder, one 12-foot roof ladder, two axes, two Babcock fire extinguishers, and a crew of 8. The men and the engine are pictured in front of Fire Department Headquarters, Chemical Number 1 on Jones Street and Mackerton Street. 1909. The building still survives today. Okay, then. It is there. This is the Planters Hotel. 1903. The sign on the wagon advertises crackers and candy. This was the second Planters Hotel. The first was located on the site of the old fire department headquarters shown in the previous picture. The building burned in 1836. The Marquis de Lafayette, the guy who helped win the Revolutionary War, he from France, was a guest at the old planters in 1825. Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, Ulysses S. Grant, and Phil Sheridan were famous guests at the planters during the 1870s. The new Planters Hotel during the 1912 flood on the right side. This was a remodeled version of the old planters. The most obvious change besides the name was the remodel of the balconies. The last three buildings exist today as part of Lafayette Center, which was developed by bankers first in the mid 1980s. So them three buildings is still there. They just took the balconies off of this one, and that's still there. And it's the YMCA building. I did not know that YMCA meant Young Men's Christian Association. Wow. Now that song really means something different to me now. YMCA. Oh my goodness. Now this was built from 1921 to 1923 on the site of the Planters Hotel. Hold on. There's the Planters Hotel. Which one? That's supposed to be the real Planters Hotel. And it's supposed to be the second edition of it. And this was the Planters Hotel. So they put the YMCA on top of it. But it actually looked like they just put a building behind this little front space right here. It don't even look like it's part of the same building. It's like two different buildings. Okay. What we got here? Another fire department. Whole bunch of people out there. Don't look like anybody I've ever seen before around here. Look at that there. So they say. I got you. That's a drawing of a building. That is not helpful. 700 block of Broad Street, November 1909. It's advertising the Georgia Carolina Fair and a visit from President William Howard Taft. Halton Grammar School. This school is still there. Yes, on Green Street. Matter of fact, I think it's what Heritage Academy now. They never tore that building down. They only remodeled it. I don't know why they would draw these cards on there. That is just so weird. But that building is still there. Never went anywhere. Kids go to school there now. Not mine, but people go there. I know some people that sent their kids there. Yep. And so St. James Church. Yes, sir. Built in 1856, the church has been renovated twice, with the Gothic features being added in the 1880s. What Gothic features? The cenotaph was erected by the St. James Sunday School in memory of the 24 church members and the 292 men from Richmond County who died in the Civil War. It was dedicated on December 31st, 1873, and was reportedly the first Confederate monument in the South. Really? Let's see what it looks like. It's decent. Got a whole bunch of houses back there. I haven't seen it before. I done been to it. It's that Gothic style thing they talking about. Man, who gonna climb up there? You gotta be tough to climb. What that is? 200 feet in the air? I don't know if they even knew about using harnesses. Hopefully they did. I mean, if humans been on Earth this long, I'm pretty sure they knew about using a harness system. Anywho, yeah, that's just one church though. We ain't even got to that bad church. You know, this is the south side of Green Street. More bricks in the road, just dirt on top of it. And it's the courthouse. This was built in 1820, allegedly. And the wings were added in 1892. What, these wings? These two wings? Okay. Kind of looked like it was a whole building. I don't know about you adding wings. The card message reads, because this is a postcard. Well, there's some nice postcards. Better than what we be sending. We just AI everything. How would you like to work in a building like this? The people are so slow, you would not like this place. They would be in your way. You would have to walk over top of them. Can tell you more in my letter. Yeah, I'm talking down on the South now. Look at this building. That is a picture of somebody standing there. I don't know who that is. But that is a picture of a person. I'm pretty sure it's probably brass. This building with somebody standing back there. My whole get up is, what is that up there? Who is that? Man, stop lying to me with the clock on there. Come on, the courthouse. That's one of the courthouses. They ain't even, man, come on. All these bricks. And it's like you can go on top of the roof up there. And it's the signers of the Declaration. Green Street in front of the courthouse at the intersection of Monument Street. The cornerstone was laid at July 4th, 1848. And the bodies of Lyman Hall and George Walton were interred in the base. The remains of George's third signer, Button Gwinnett, have not been located. The monument was designed by Robert French of New York and built of Stone Mountain granite. The house across the street on the left at 551 Green Street still stands. Yes, it does. That house has been there a long time. It is very nice too. It is shocking how all of these buildings and stuff are still around. And it's a lady just sitting there. She got a stroller with the baby in it, just chilling. Man, we've been in this city forever. Man. We ain't been paying attention to none of this stuff, but it's there. Especially the downtown area because Augusta had a really big free black population. And wasn't no running up on them like that, trying to make somebody move something. Look at that water fountain there. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. People pretty much got along down here. Oh, look at the ladies on the horse and carriage. Yes. It wasn't all them problems. It's 1910, 1906. And matter of fact, all the important people lived in the downtown area. From Broad to Green to Telfair Street. The three main streets that All the important people lived on. Ain't nobody live all up there on the hill around the masters and all that stuff. They probably had a getaway house up there. Far as people went was on the hill, the Sand Hills area. And you go to Martin Fountain, 1903. Whole bunch of nice houses around. The Martin Fountain on Martin Square, Lower Green Street, was erected by the public to the memory of Alfred M. Martin, ex-mayor of Augusta. It was completed in 1902. It is made of iron. It's 12 feet high and consists of 3 pans. Other than this, very little information can be found about the fountains on Green Street. They don't even know. Oh my goodness, man. So y'all just gonna say, well, we know this was dedicated to the dude. Well, they erected it. So basically they just picked it up and just said, hey, we're gonna dedicate this to you. Man, get out of here with that, man. Come on. That is nice. I don't think it's there no, man. It might be still there. I'm gonna ride down there and see. I'm trying to tell you, look at them big trees. Nice tree. Old trees. North side of Green Street, right there by Fifth. Mm-mm-mm. Dr. Thomas Coleman house, right here. Very nice house, sir. Very nice. His house did get destroyed by the flood and stuff, but it's nice. All them bricks in the road, all them bricks are gone. They done built other people's houses with them bricks. That house is more than likely still there, especially Green Street. Green Street really ain't went nowhere, it's still there. Let me keep flipping. All right, Dr. Coleman house. Mm-hmm. He was also associated with the Pine Heights Sanitarium in North Augusta. The card message reads, this is Dr. Coleman's house, almost opposite us, if you remember. He was a physician and surgeon. He was an important person. He really was. This is the residence of Mrs. Charles H. Fennessy. Y'all know who Fennessy is. That's the dude they named the jailhouse after. No, y'all know him. Yeah, and what this card say? A home in early Augusta, built in 1841 by Mr. John Fennessy, and at his death, passing to his son, the late Mr. Charles H. Fennessy. However, other sources say the house was built in 1835. The building has subsequently been used as a funeral home, an Elks Lodge, and recently as a conference reception center. Yeah, Green Street got mansions on it. Them ain't even like regular houses. Them mansions. It's a trip. Amanda Dickinson, matter of fact, she lived right down on Green Street too. She had a really nice house. I have to pull it up. Fountain View. Another fountain. Goodness, man. I didn't even know we had them many. It's a nice fountain. It's a fountain with a person on it. Very nice houses around. And all these houses around everywhere. And all of a sudden, all these people, a lot of people living in apartments and stuff. When they had all these houses that's still there. But that's neither. I guess that's not my business. 600 block of Green Street looking west. This is 1910. The beautiful steps lead to number 16, the residence of Mrs. Anna E. Branch, the widow of Thomas P. Branch. They actually got a house on Walton Way too. They converted that into a library. Second house is Mr. Joseph C. Fargo. That's that house there. The third house is Mrs. Annie C. Baker, widow of Dr. Archibald H. Baker. And the fourth house is J. Frank Carswell. All are gone except 624, which now has a modern facade. Okay. These are beautiful. Look at this, the home of Dr. T.E. Ortel. The home was built in 1839 by George L. Twiggs. It's a street named after him, too. Although some sources say it was built in 1810, in the late 1930s, it was the Southern Hall tourist home for overnight guests. It was demolished about 1950 to make way for the Trailway bus station. Okay. Oh, this is a church. That is beautiful. What's the name of it? The First Christian Church. Yes. It was designed by Macon architect D.B. Woodruff and built in 1874 and 1876. Yeah, the church was a gift from Mrs. Emily Tupman. That's the lady who started the Tupman schools. Mm-hmm. Now this is First Christian Church. That is a sun on the top of it, or a star or something. And then you can kind of see other little stuff pointing up in the background too. I don't know, these old pictures. Yep. They don't make them like this no more. Tell us anything. Mm-hmm. 700 block of Green Street. Nice houses. The Poets Monument. Oh, that's a nice monument. And this monument was for given by Mrs. E.W. Cole of Nashville. Bears the name of four poets at a few Southern journalists described as the South's four greatest: Sidney Lanier, Father Abraham J. Ryan, James R. Randall, Paul Hayne. This stuff we just walk past every day. Well, drive past it now. Look at this St. John's. Ooh, beautiful. First Baptist Church on Green Street. This church is still there. They done made that a national historic site. They say this was built in 1902 and replaced the first church, which had been built 1820 to 1821. It was moved out on Walton Way. Yeah, we are back in Augusta to stay this summer at least. Very warm here. I went to an Easter egg hunt with a lady friend and her children, and I went flower picking while they hunted eggs. Got a large bouquet of yellow jasmine. Hmm. Sound like some good flowers to grow. Yes. Got dome shape. I really like that building too. It's look a little rough now, but it is a nice building. It look like somebody's standing there in the window too. I think that's just what the glass looked like. I don't know. I won't go inside it. It's the other YMCA building. No, they said they built that 1908. It's a picture from 1908. They say the rear portion was built in 1891 and the front in 1892. Hmm. This is the old post office on the corner of Green and Ninth Street. 1900. Now, this building was designed by the Office of the Supervising Architect of the Treasury Department during the Romanesque architecture period on May 10th, 1888. The building at Augusta is very beautiful and difficult to classify and inclines to the English Gothic. The building was completed in 1890. The post office moved in 1916 and the building was converted to city offices in March 1917. The structure was demolished and a public library was built on the site in the late 1970s. It's literally a library right there now that they actually built. Green and 9th Street. Campbell Street is 9th Street. James Brown Boulevard. Man, they had to tear that down. It was too pretty too. Well, on to the next one. got Green Street and Ninth across from the post office. You got people just tallying about in their neighborhoods. Brick roads everywhere. I mean, that was pretty much what was going on around the city. Not much to do. And this 1905, the first three houses were duplex style houses with two families in each. Dr. William H. Dowdy, physician, had his office in his home. His neighbor at number 905 was Charles Estes, vice president of the John P. King Manufacturing Company. This large duplex home was 3 stories tall with 2-story wings off each side at the rear. They no longer exist. Amazing. Oh yeah, this one it gets really good. Now, this is the Green Street Presbyterian Church. And the Richard Wilde Monument. I got a picture of Richard Henry Wilde. And he don't look like what they try to put on Wikipedia. And this is the old Sacred Heart. That church still looks the same. Creepy. Really nice. This from 1906. They don't even say when this church was built. I don't think they ever will say. And that's the old St. Paul's, the original Fort Augusta. That's the old Celtic cross. And this from what? 1920. And you got the Tubman High School. Thomas Harry Garrett was the principal. And they made a school after him too. Wow. March 16th, 1916 fire. This building. Reynolds Street. 1908. In this picture, this is a view of Bay Street, aka the other side of Reynolds. Savannah River looking east. And you got the Savannah River over there. It's between 5th and Elbert Street. 1906. These houses were moved back 70 feet in 1915 to accommodate the levy, and they all burned in the 1916 fire. Damn, that was a waste of time. I mean, you want me to move my house and then my shit get burned down? Bust. Somebody got to pay me. Right, this is the river. It ain't nothing for this to come up, flood everything. And they had brick coming all the way out here, look like. Nice sized trees. Those trees are not there anymore. They have been cut down. And I'm starting to see why a lot of people were living in the projects and stuff. And it looked like it was no way to bounce back from all these fires that kept happening, then the flooding too. But probably not the reason, but hey, eventually the insurance company ain't gonna keep paying, especially if you ain't got flood or fire insurance. That's rough. You know, that Telfair Street. Telfair Street pretty decent too. Certain parts. Yeah, Old Town. The other government house, supposedly built in 1801. 1818 house over here. And they was using very nice stuff, boy. Got the iron fence, 3-story house, the Jewish synagogue. They drew a picture of it, but it does look like that. You see it in person. And this place here, the Richmond Academy, built in 1802. Medical College, built in 1834. Okay. Presbyterian Church, 1809. Woodrow Wilson House, 1917. The building was acquired in 1860 by the church. Really? St. Mary's School for Girls and St. Patrick's Commercial Institute, Telfair Street. This St. Patrick's Catholic Church. We got more churches in a little bit. We got at least probably about 20, maybe 25, something like that, in the area. All brick. It's the Church of Atonement on Telfair Street. You go downtown and get blessed. And you got the White Way. There's trolley car people. They don't even look like people from America. Not wearing no hat like that, sir. We don't rock like that. We don't wear that, man. We got swag around here. Look at these buildings. They don't never show nothing in the sky. Look at this. Trolley car. Horse and buggy. Looking down the White Way. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't take kindly to that. A Street. The Miller Walker building is on the right. Boom. Oh, that's that building they say the entrance is on the side. Okay, and that's Broad Street right up there. Wow. Got the Hotel Genesta. All this stuff sound foreign. Got the dining room. Very nice dining room. People were classy back then. There go that First Baptist Church. The new electric car company terminal building in 1910. What? Electric car company. Oh, that's it right there. So they already had electric car jumping, which I already knew that anyway. I mean, why use gasoline when you're using electricity for everything? Makes more sense. Look at that. 8th Street, 1912. The Aiken Augusta Railway and Electric Corporation Terminal Building. That's a close-up look at it. And they turn it into a hotel. Now it's a vacant lot. Uh-oh. Campbell Street, 9th Street, James Brown Boulevard. The White Way, Campbell. 9th Street, 1915. The post office building is on the left at the southwest corner of Green Street. African Americans John P. Waring and Arthur Lovett operated a restaurant at 424 Campbell Street in 1915. The card message reads, "This is the main street running from Union Station to Broad Street. Augusta is not dead now. Several thousand people visited the city yesterday. Trade was busy." Well, this old Oddfellows Hall. Oddfellows. And who's hanging out with the Oddfellows? Who are these people? Let's see them up close. Got the bicycles and the balconies. Oh, yeah. Whole lot of Oddfellow things going on. It's wild stuff. This is Tabernacle. Founded in 1885 by the Reverend Charles T. Walker, was built on the site of the Lamar Hospital after the hospital burned in 1911. On December 21st, 1913, the Augusta Chronicle reported that work was progressing nicely. For 3 weeks, men have been laying bricks, 130,000, yet the structure is still 4 to 5 feet below street level. The whole building will take 1.5 million bricks. The church was completed in 1915. The cost of the structure was 100,000, which the church paid off by 1919. The church remains active today. This card was published by John F. Dugas. 1.5 million bricks. Man, that's about more than the pyramid, ain't it? Of Giza over there, whatever. Got hardware companies. Not really important. Because those are gone. They made sure they took them out. You got a chemical works company. All this 1904, 1900. Chemical works building on Laney Walker. Let me say directly across where 6th Street intersects. They manufactured fertilizer and acid phosphates. They advertised themselves as the largest fertilizer factory in the South. Some of their products were Mastodon guano, grain fertilizer, Lowe's Georgia formula, dissolved bone potash, and acid phosphate with 4% potash. Every bag full weighed 200 pounds. Damn, that was right there in the city. Well, they trying to make people sick with that. Okay. You got old Hildebrand. Hildebrand is still there when they say this was built. Oh, it was founded by Nicholas Hildebrand in 1879. He built the store at a cost of $10,000 in gold. Boy, look, I'll take that. And the family's still running that store too. Oh yeah, I remember old Hildebrand. That joint there. And see how people live upstairs in their store. Got the Nixon grocery store. And the remains of the store after the 1908 flood and fire. Goodness, took it out. Yeah, wasn't no Civil War action. It was just all natural disaster look like. And human error. Grocery store on Laney Walker. Got the old taxi service. Little buddy getting him a ride. Appreciate you. Got the 2 horses. Well, I live right here in the medical district. That's all you hear is fire trucks and ambulances. Not even a mile away from the hospital. So I should survive if something happens. I ain't wishing that on myself, just saying goodness. Well, they be out more than the police. Now this right here, cotton picking, 1905. Mm-mm-mm. Augusta was known as the South Atlantic Cotton Center and the second largest inland cotton market in the world in the early 1900s. Promoters labeled it the Lowell of the South. In 1908, there were 13 cotton mills employing over 6,500 people and consuming 115,000 bales of cotton in the process. There was also a large market for the shipment of cotton seed for planting, says the Augusta Chamber of Commerce in 1908. There are many Augusta postcards with a cotton related theme. I'm glad they didn't say these people were African Americans, because just saying it was black would sound a whole lot better. Cotton picking, cotton picking. Wow. That ain't even an actual photo. That is a drawing. Look like they all work together, like a family effort. I ain't even gonna put my people down like that. That look like family effort. They don't even look like, you know what I'm saying, no trouble. You know, teamwork, baby. Let me zoom back in on the guy right here, way in the back. He's like, boy, I can't do it. And then that person standing right there. He looks a little swarthy. He like, I ain't picking shit. I'm paying y'all. Y'all better do it. The Augusta Cotton Compress on 6th Street between Calhoun and Taylor Street, 1900. The compress had a capacity for the storage of 4,700 bales of uncompressed or 8,200 bales of compressed cotton. There were two powerful compresses with a capacity of 150 bales per hour. The business was later known as the Dowdy Compress Company. That building is partially there. The Cotton Ginnery on Millersville Road, now Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. The Planters Cotton Oil Company. Okay. It's 1910. Yeah. It's business. You see it. Them boy got on suit and ties. They is not playing them games. Come on. Let's get it. Well, you want that cotton or what? Got the rail cars right here. They shipping it. Butter up there. Packing the cotton in. Oh, yeah. We make it happen. Horse and buggy. It don't matter, baby. You gonna get this work. Look at this painting they done put up here again. Why they keep putting these paintings up here? They need to stop that. These don't even be pictures. These are drawings. It look kind of picturesque, but then it's like, man, like somebody drew that on there, man. Stop that. They ain't gonna show no light-skinned folks out there picking. Okay. You know they was out there, because they still had people working in the fields all the way up until the 1960s. Matter of fact, there's people still working in the field right now. If they come over here, you can't pay your way. Get what? It's sending you to pick strawberries. Yep. Yeah, there's probably some folks down there in South Georgia picking peanuts right now. And this is Cotton Central. Where's all the money gone? A cotton scene near Augusta, including an unnamed company. That don't sound good. This is 1910. The card is published by Miss W.D. Thomas. May feature the Augusta Cotton Seed Oil Company at 1890 Old Savannah Road, across the street from where Molly Pond Road intersects today. Oh, shoot, that building's still there. Man, ain't that crazy? This is one of my favorite buildings. The old Cotton Exchange building, right there at the Riverwalk. It's supposed to have been built in 1886. Yeah, believe that if you want. Man, this building was not built then. This is where they had all the cotton at, because all you got to do is just take it right down this road here, and you can go straight to the river and throw it on the boat. And this building still look exactly like that. That house ain't there no more. It's a parking lot. Oh yeah. You got them horses pulling them bales of cotton. You got the Fantasy Company, cotton all in the road. I remember I read one time they burnt up a lot of the cotton, like, cause they ain't had no use for it after the Civil War was over with, and they tried to sink the South's economy. So Augusta burnt a whole lot of cotton. Couldn't do nothing with it. Hmm. Yeah, it was more of an economic war too than just all that fighting. This is on Bay Street between Jackson and Campbell. That's between what, 8th and 9th Street? Oh yeah. The S.M. Whitney Company and Union Warehouse and Compress Company. Cotton sheds on the left. The Augusta Terminal Railroad tracks and the river can be seen on the right. This site is about where the levee is now. All that done flooded out before. That's why it ain't nothing right there. And it's the old cotton exchange, cotton building right there. They done got rid of that. Augusta factory at Fenwick Street between Mulberry and McKinney Street, circa 1905, established in 1847 as the Augusta Manufacturing Company. This was the first mill to utilize the water power of the canal system. The company was reorganized in 1859 as the Augusta factory. The building in the right foreground was used for cotton storage. Over 550 people were employed in 1908. The building was demolished in 1961. Hmm. The small building was. Not the big one. These buildings are tricky right here. Enterprise Mill. That's a place of business now. Whole lot of offices in there. It's from 1905. It was constructed several years later, from 1873, and enlarged 1882. Okay. Enterprise Mill. Then we got the King's Cotton Mill, the largest cotton mill in the South, 1906. The John P. King Manufacturing Company was located on Goodrich Street at Broad Street at the canal. It was organized in 1881. It began operating several years later and employed 900 people in 1908. The card message reads, "This is one of the biggest mills in this city out of 12 and a good friend to the Army. Hope you have a nice true Xmas and New Year." And they said it was 2 miles of buildings. So that's one. That's another one. All that run along the canal. This building is for sure still there. Actually, this one is too. King's Mill is still there. Enterprise Mill is still there. And that is still there. Who the hell got time to build that? 1905. It was the building was completed in 1882. All these buildings were completed in the same amount of time. The company merged with the Graniteville Company in 1940, and it's currently in operation. Now, I can walk down the street and see this. That is huge. And it got a coat of arms on the front part of the building right there. Yes. Very Romanesque. That's nice. This is Canal Locks, Savannah River, initial port of Augusta's water power, circa 1910. Work on the Augusta Canal began in 1845. Many of the workers were Irish immigrants escaping from the potato famine in Ireland. The canal was enlarged from 1872 to 1875. Chinese laborers were brought in to help, and many settled in Augusta after the work was completed. The canal furnished power to the mills and other industries built along its banks. Cotton and farm goods were transported by boat along the canal, which also furnished power for the Confederate powder works during the Civil War. I'm glad they mentioned Irish immigrants coming from the potato famine, because these folks that was already here before then was not going for it. They probably was the managers anyway. But that is very, very extravagant right here. And that is still there. People actually walk by there when they be doing their little hikes and stuff and walking towards the rapids. It is a waterfall. Aqueduct falls from the canal at Rays Creek. Amazing. 1900. It's the Warwick Mill. It was built in 1882. Whatever. Hawks Gully from Broad Street at 15th Street, looking north towards North Augusta. 1906. There's a big ass building in the back. Tell you anything. Postcard view of the steamer in 1903 is loaded with cotton at Wharf, Savannah River. The cotton district of Augusta is located along the Savannah River, on which large steamers ply daily between this city and Savannah and other ports. Augusta has 10 large cotton mills within a radius of 20 miles. Besides many smaller ones, the consumption of these mills is over 100,000 bales of cotton a year. The postcard is 1903, but the photograph was probably taken earlier. That is a big steamer. Come on, man. What are they talking about? The Center Street Bridge over the Savannah River in 1900. A 975-foot long covered wood span. The city wharf is at the left. Bridges after the flood in 1908. The old South Carolina Railroad Bridge. Yep. Just upstream of the center bridge gave way and smashed broadside into the Center Street Bridge, carrying it away along with 3 piers. Nah, if that water can reach up to a bridge, you know what it's gonna do to the land. That's why you can never, I always seen dirt in the road and stuff. It kept flooding. That little bit of ground is not stopping 30, 40, 50 feet of water coming up, rising, and coming onto the land. And that's Bay Street, City Wharf. That's the little boat. Okay. After the 1908 flood, the city replaced the old wooden bridge with a steel structure. The Center Street Bridge was subsequently replaced with the concrete span that is in use today. Okay. It's still there. Savannah River and the Center Street Bridge after the 1908 flood. The water department had been asking the city to install a drawbridge, but they resisted the request. As it was now necessary to build a new bridge, they decided to include a draw span. A swing draw was constructed on one of the old piers, which was reinforced on each side to allow for the operation of the machinery for the draw span. The large span on the right is the swing draw span, with the pier being just visible next to the trees. Okay. The first North Augusta Bridge at McKinney Street, built in 1891 at a cost of $85,000. by the North Augusta Land Company. That's 1910. Okay. And that bridge still there. Dang, that's crazy. It's when the bridge fell apart after the flood in 1908. It's the city hospital. It's on Walker Street. Yeah, Walker Street pretty decent too. They have some nice side houses. A lot of them is still there. Them houses did not go anywhere. This is the Lamar Hospital on the right, on Laney Walker, on the northwest corner of Harrison. And this was a hospital for African Americans in 1894. The 75-bed structure was named for Gazeway B. Lamar, who had left funds from his estate for building of 2 hospitals for the exclusive care of Negro patients in Georgia. The hospital burned in 1911 and the Tabernacle Church was built on the site. Man, that's messed up, man. I didn't take a. Yeah, pretty nice though. And they put Tabernacle right there. Hmm. It's the Margaret Wright Hospital. It's in 1915. All these things were built around the same time. It's the Children's Hospital on Harper Street. Harper Street is right there where University Hospital is. It was built with funds by Mrs. Grace Shaw Duff, a frequent northern visitor to Augusta. And this is the Medical College of Georgia New Children Medical Center is currently under construction near the site. Okay. So they put the Children's Hospital right where this used to be at. Okay then. So it's been a medical district for the longest. This is the University Complex, which is no longer there anymore, but it actually is still there. You have to go stand in front of the University Hospital and actually see that it is still there. This is St. Joseph's on Riceboro Road. Is it still there? Partially, it's still there. This is in 1913. The building was constructed as a school in 1913 by the Roman Catholic Sisters of St. Joseph. That's that Catholic stuff. But it's nice though. Then it became a hotel. Okay. Yeah. The Haynes Normal School on Laney Walker. It was founded by Miss Lucy Craft Laney. Shout out to her. And Marshall Hall, 1889, on the left, was used for dormitory, dining room, library, and classroom purposes. Okay, then. That's tight. That's tight. It was. And then they built the Laney High School on the site. So they tore them down and put the school there. And then tore it down again a couple of years, about 20 years ago, and put a school up there. Payne College. Ooh, the Payne College. Founded in 1882 as a black college, the original name of Payne Institute, named in honor of Bishop Robert Payne. Yeah. Yeah. That piece is still there. And they actually built around it. You have to look at it. It's still right there. That little part of it. John Milledge. That school is still there from 1915. The Georgia Veterans Nursing Home on 15th Street. The Old Butt Bridge. That is a nice bridge with the lion heads on it. I don't know why they always want to draw it after it's already been built. This bridge was built 1912. That's too late. And he died on the Titanic. Old Archibald Butt. I heard what they say about the Titanic, boy. That was a setup. They knocked off some important people. Mr. Archibald Butt, you must have been very important. But they say he was saving lives on that. He didn't want anybody to die. So he ended up dying, trying to save people. Presidential picture at Terrett College, 1908. William Taft and his sons and wife. I don't know about y'all. But these people look a little out of place. President Taft. And this the Winter Home on Millis Road on the southeast corner of Cumming Road. The building was formerly the house of James Davies, the father of Mrs. Annie Terrett. The house no longer exists. Hey, you gonna tear down the house Taft used to be at? Must ain't like Taft. Now this is one of my favorites. The Barrett Plaza and the Patrick Walsh Monument. Patrick Walsh is that guy. On the south side of Telfair Street between Jackson Street and Campbell Street. 1917. The plaza was constructed in 1912. Old Ford Street and the trolley tracks which ran through the center of the old park were removed and two streets were laid out on each side in the new plaza. The dirt from the two new streets was used to fill in the old Ford Street roadbed. A large fountain of Italian marble was erected on the Walker Street end. The Patrick Walsh Monument was erected on the Telfair Street end and dedicated in June 1913. Okay, I don't believe you, but just look at this right here. Either somebody couldn't spell or Union Station was spelled with a V. All this stuff, man. That's say Patrick Walsh, 1848 through 1899. Look like this is this the federal building. Matter of fact, the federal courthouse, right there. The Plaza Hotel. Plaza Hotel on the corner of Walker Street, circa 1917. Around 1960, it was known as the James Hotel. The building has since been demolished. Okay, believe that. Because this is where the post office is at. The post office is literally where the Union Station was until they tore the front end off of it and they just remodeled it. The backside of the Union Station is part of the post office. Just ride by and look at it. You'll see what there's a walkway out there where people going to catch the train. That is crazy. The Barrett Plaza, 1912. But before the Patrick Walsh Monument was dedicated in June 1913. So this was a whole plaza? The stone pavement in the foreground is Walker Street in front of Union Station. Hold on, I'm tripping now. So if I was to be standing right here and turn around, there would be a whole bunch of houses surrounding it. Man, I ain't even see the waterfall right here. What's going on? Well, start that plan, man. The Plaza Hotel, brick building with a nice waterfall right there. We ain't even got that there no more. Oh my God. It's amazing. Yep, all these old buildings. Post office and federal courthouse building on the east side of Barrett Plaza. The city gave the federal government the lots at the east end of the old plaza in 1911 in exchange for the old post building on the southwest corner of Green Street and Campbell Street, provided the city purchased the old building, which they did in 1916. The post office relocated in 1973, and the building is now used as the federal courthouse. It has recently been renovated. So that's the east side of it. That's the Fed. And this was, hmm, oh, that's the opposite side. Wow. Oh, that is on the other side of the building. So that's the federal side. And then you got the church next to it. So that's an empty parking lot there now. Where this used to be at. Cause when you go in the post office and when you get ready to leave out of there, it's a little empty little spot right there. Oh man, they pulled a fast one. And it's the old Union Depot, corner of Walker Street and 9th Street. This is right across the street from the new courthouse building, actually. But this the back of the post office, though. It was built just after the close of the Civil War, and it was torn down to make way for a new depot in 1902, which ain't no depot there now. The new Union Depot, located on Walker Street between Jackson and Campbell. 1906. It was completed in 1902. The old Park Plaza in front of the station is clearly visible. Hmm. It was previously bounded by houses and saloons which were torn down shortly after Union Station opened. The train service ceased in 1968 and the building was demolished in 1972. The current post office and a federal office building occupy the site. They really got out. Hmm. And you got the Union Building, Brick Road. Man, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of it's still there. Oh, you got the boathouse. That's not in that water anymore. Or is it? You got people hanging out. And this is May Park. May Park was one of the oldest parks in Augusta. It was bounded by Walking Street on the north, Lincoln Street on the east, Calhoun Street on the south, and Elbert Street on the west. May Park is still in use today, though much altered from what it was in 1905. Ain't none of this out there in May Park. Might be one of them trees out there. But what? It does not look like that. That's the Southern Land Mill. Green Street, nice houses. Old Campbell Street. It pretty much still look just about the same down there though. And this is North Augusta. The 5-story Hampton Terrace Hotel between Georgia Avenue and Carolina Avenue, just south of Martintown Road in North Augusta. Yeah, 1905. Built by the North Augusta Hotel Company, which was headed by James U. Jackson. Well, them 1900s, boy, that was like the years of progress. Oh, yeah. We got the Hampton Terrace Hotel, close up of it. Mm-mm-mm. People at the golf course. Forest Avenue on George Avenue and Carolina Avenue. Built by Walter Jackson about 1895. Another North Augusta building on Carolina Avenue. Built in 1900 by John M. Cranston. It was torn down in 1972 when the Holy Trinity Lutheran Church was built on the site. Mm. We got the Palmetto Lodge, 1918, built as a hunting lodge by the owners of the Hampton Terrace Hotel. Mm. All these people. Notice how they don't show any people of color on here. Everybody they be showing they fully clothed. Don't nobody wear shorts. You in the South. You at least supposed to have some shorts on. Belvedere Poultry Farm. Got them chickens. Oh, they advertise chicken, rabbits, pigeons. Hmm. You got the Magnolia Cemetery. Okay. This is the flood damage to the West Wall and City Cemetery, known as the Magnolia Cemetery at First Street, caused by the 1908 flood, August 1908. And this view is looking east from Lincoln Street. The repairs are still discernible in the wall today. Literally, I don't even think they ever fixed this wall. I remember I done jumped through the cemetery plenty of times, done walked around in it. And that's like the early 2000s. They still ain't fixed this wall. And this from 1908. So you talking about 100 years that wall was down like that. That's lazy. Yeah. Oh, there we go with the orphan asylum. On R.A. Dent Boulevard. It opened in 1873. The interior burned 1889, and it was rebuilt with minor changes. In 1912, the orphans moved to a new facility at Gracewood, out there on Tobacco Road, and the Medical College of Georgia moved into the building in January 1913. The building was torn down in 1960. R.A. Dent Boulevard is literally where the hospital is now. It's a MCG building there. So they must tore that one down and just built a new MCG. And this is Gracewood. Wow. 1915. That is a nice vehicle, ma'am. And it's a lady driving. She pushing that joint. What that tag say? That Georgia tag. So the orphan asylum moved to Gracewood in 1912. This was one of the building sites, one of the buildings on the campus. The name was officially changed to the Tuttle Newton home in 1919. Tuttle Newton. So Tuttle Newton was a mixed race couple. They were married and they had kids who went on to do great things. But they say there was segregation going on. I did read about them two people. Paul Moss Orphanage, an industrial home. Orphanage. It was totally destroyed by fire in 1913. Hey, that's messed up. Fire destroyed Negro orphanage in that section known as South Nellyville and is outside the city limits. Firemen absolutely helpless as no water was available. No fatalities among colored children, inmates. Call received by telephone. The orphanage at Milledgeville Road and 15th Street was operated by Paul D. Moss, president and manager. Milledgeville and 15th. No, that's almost at west south side of it, ain't it? The historic White House. Meadow Garden. Yeah, that's pretty much the campground. 1918. This is the site of the 56th Infantry Brigade from a view looking west along what is now Pine Needle Road and Park Avenue from the Waterworks Reservoir embankment at Buena Vista Road. The card message reads, expect to leave here, Camp Hancock, Georgia, within 48 hours for some post to ship for France. Have you missed me or forgotten? I am going to be commissioned sergeant. Hope you are all well. Pennsylvania Avenue and Camp Hancock, 1918. So that was Buena Vista over there in North Augusta. West to the Augusta University Sports Complex, running parallel to Riceboro Road and on line with Pine Needle Road. A short portion is still visible in a wooden area on the Forest Hill Golf Course Complex. Dear bro, a trip down here through this country you would enjoy. I am a regular soldier now and not a bit homesick. And these people are not from around here. They really out there in, what them here, teepees in? 1918. I think this around what, World War One? Yep. Man, they advertise in the city, talking about we are in a place where winter is scarcely known. How would you like to be here? I'm having a fine time. Lots of cotton and cactus here. I mean, inviting folks, man. People problem. Yeah, these folks is not from around. 10 inspection, 1918. Lessons learned about hygiene and sanitation during the Spanish-American War 20 years later were applied in World War One, making airing of tents a regular drill for the camp soldiers. The message reads, hello, Grandpa. I am well. Hope you the same. I like it here, but not like home. Weird. That Liberty Theater. And this was located on Riceboro. YMCA huts. Some Christian folks. These are all military camps. The Red Cross building at Base Hospital, Camp Hancock, 1918. 28th Division from Camp Hancock, pervading down the 700 block of Broad Street. Oh, they getting ready to go to France. Put the British flag out there. What we got to do with the British flag? Okay. Soldiers Club on Broad Street. This is the same building temporarily used by the Augusta Herald just after the 1916 fire. The building still stands. Whole lot of tricky stuff going on. No Partridge Inn. But ain't nobody build a Partridge Inn. That is too big to build. I'm not even gonna play with the Partridge. I done been in there before. I done been in the bottom of it. That's where all the color folk work at the bottom. We down there cooking good food too. I down there, boy, eating some oxtails, boy, black eyed peas. That's where color folk be down here. You can't even really see down there. You got a little brick fence down there, but you have to walk around the side and go down in there. Get you some good old eating. Color folk got to go around the back. Yep. Got the penthouse. Ain't enough time in the day. Oh yeah, love it. Then you got the Bon Air right across the street from it. Two of the biggest hotels ever. The Bon Air does not look like that anymore, but they never tore it down. But it was destroyed by fire in 1921. It's a 1909. The first hotel on the hill. It opened in 1889 to attract the northern tourist trade to Somerville and Augusta. The season was from December to May. It featured 105 rooms, steam heat, an elevator, a grand parlor for balls, reading rooms, billiard rooms, parlors for ladies and gentlemen, an elegant dining room, and electric lights. Its popularity assured the hotel expanded rapidly to almost 270 rooms. Yes. And these two hotels are within walking distance. I say a good 100 feet away from each other. It's still the same hotel. Now, this is the one they say is the newest one, but it kind of still look like that one. It's just like closed in. But I don't know. This is the Bon Air Vanderbilt. If anybody know about the Vanderbilts, they done took over a lot of stuff, especially in them days. It's built on the site of the old Bon Air in 1924 with 300 plus rooms. This is in 1925. It closed as a hotel in the 1960s, and now it's just operating as apartments. So true. Tubman High School in the 1920s. It was built on the site of the old Schutzenplatz in Somerville after the school on Reynolds Street burned in 1916. G. Lloyd Preacher was the architect. Hell, the school ain't even open now. That school probably been open for 20 years. They closed it back down. I remember it was open when I was in school. Now it ain't even open no more. It's just an empty building. What's going on with Tubman? Which they ain't even the original Tubman, but okay. It's too perfect of a story to believe. And it's the fire station on Central Avenue. That is still there. They just blocked in that part right there. That is still there. They just made that a little wider for bigger trucks now. Still sitting there. Yeah. It said it was built in 1914. Sure. The Country Club built in 1902. Ain't nothing but change of hands. That's all it is. And he just brought in a whole bunch of people that ain't got no swag. Because they wear some of the weirdest looking stuff. Three Oaks at Hitman Road. It opened in the 1800s, late 1800s. Hermitage Inn at Meade Street. Mm-hmm. The U.S. Arsenal, aka Augusta State University. It's a whole college. Oh my goodness. They might have tore the building down, but it's literally ASU. And they say it was established in 1819, the little Arsenal building. Okay. This is looking east from now Payne Hall. The Augusta State University Library building would be on the left. Okay, over here. The shop building was built in 1861 by the Confederate government after they seized the arsenal from U.S. troops. The building was torn down after the school took over the property in the mid-1950s. I hear you. That's Central Avenue House. That house is still there. Amazing. Appreciate that. Hope I was doing pretty well. I don't know. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all think about that. Do y'all even be noticing that stuff? Like in your own city, in this city y'all live in? You know, a lot of stuff just catch my eye. And I really think they do be moving buildings too. I seen the Amish, like probably 100 of them, pick up a building and move it. Like it wasn't no, like real brick structure, but it was heavy enough. But they actually picked it up by the joist, the flow joist, and walked it wherever they was going. You know, and bricks been around thousands of years. The wheel been around however long, thousands, millions, however they want to count it. So I mean, I believe a lot of that stuff could be moved though. Even that picture they showed of the monument, this is a picture of Richard Henry Wild. I like that guy. One of my favorite people. I'll put it together some other time. I ain't gonna stress myself out about it. It'll be alright. I appreciate y'all watching, man. Y'all take it easy.